Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us for another AMA. We've had quite the month in October, and there's a lot to talk about. Shping interviews across a number of national television networks, kicking off the Coinbase Learn and Earn campaign in Australia, an upcoming fintech event, and of course, addressing the questions from the community, which are great, by the way, and really appreciated. It demonstrates just the level of involvement that the community has. So I really want to say thank you to everybody who put in their questions, and we'll try to get through everything. I've incorporated some questions into one, but let's begin. Gennady, tell us about the recent interviews and the coverage we've had and what it means for us as an early stage company.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are. Thanks for those who joined us on the live broadcast, and obviously thank you for those who will watch this broadcast in recording. So regarding the recent coverage and the interviews we had on Channel 7 and Channel 9, one of the main national Australian broadcasters, which was great. First of all, we've felt honored to be interviewed, and the level of interest we had from the Australian media. We realize the importance the important part we play in helping Australian consumers to deal with the inflation and the household budgeting pressures with the app, the relevance of the app. And so it was great to be interviewed. We really enjoyed the questions that have been asked of us and the ability to address them. And it's obviously served as the great marketing for us. We've been seen by millions of people in Australia. In terms of, I think, new app users, it's way over 10,000 new app downloads that were received as soon as the broadcast went live. And we've been recognized and acknowledged by different industry organizations. We've been invited to present at the fintech event, I think late this month or early next month. So it was amazing. And we actually already have lined up a few other interviews from the media outlets. So it's really amazing, and it gives us an indication that what we do is has its purpose, and helping people in to overcome different challenges they're facing.
It's terrific, isn't it? And look, I want to jump straight into the Coinbase Learn and Earn event, because I know we've got a lot to cover. So, I mean, we've had a lot of similar questions come relating to the Coinbase Learn and Earn. So I'll join them into just a couple of questions. Where are we at with the Coinbase Learn and Earn campaign, and what is it that we're trying to get out of it? What are the objectives with the campaign?
Certainly. So we're live. So the Learn and Earn have started. I think it started literally 4 or 5 days ago. I don't think it has been announced yet by Coinbase. So from my understanding is that the announcement will go live in the next couple of days. So it's going to be, I think, an EDM that will go to just Australian Coinbase users, because the campaign is just in Australia. And I'll explain the reasoning behind breaking into region. So the announcement will go live in the next couple of days. And the purpose of this campaign. So typically, Learn and Earn is serve the purpose of, which is in the name of it, is to get more people to learn about the project, understand what is the utility of the token, what the project does, what's the future of the project, to bring more people into community. And that's how Coinbase and some other exchanges, why they run those campaigns. What we've tried to do is we've tried to make it a bit more tangible for us. And rather than run the campaign globally, where we would get introduced to people around the world, but those who can't really use the app at this point of time, it would give us the advantage of bringing more people to the community, but we wouldn't be able to convert that person straight into the app user. So what we've decided to do is that we will run the campaign only where the app is available, so currently in Australia, and we will be doing the other regions with the Learn and Earn in other countries once the service is available in those countries. So in Australia, as soon as it's gone live, we're seeing the result. It's immediate. Coinbase have a huge following here in Australia. A lot of users of the Coinbase app. I think that about 1.6 million users in Australia. So the plan is to address all of the current users, but as well as the future users. So its campaign, it's going to last for a number of months, so that we can go and allow the existing users to participate, and obviously anyone else joining the Coinbase will also be able to take part in the Learn and Earn campaign. For Coinbase, Australia is also a new market, even though they're quite established already. They just recently officially launched, and those who live in Australia or even through the international media have probably seen a lot of media coverage of the Coinbase Australia launch. That launch came with a number of local integration. So they're now fully integrated with the local banking system, which allows users to cash out or move funds directly from the Coinbase to local bank with using OSCO or Pay ID technology, where it's instant, and vice versa. If they want to top up their account, it's also an instant top up, which is amazing. That's what you would expect from the truly local exchange. And that's what they're currently offering to local users. And we are fortunate to be on Coinbase platform during this period, because that will help us to leverage their successes with bringing more people on board that we could also market and try to bring them onto our platform at the same time.
Okay, that's good to know. And look, I'm just going to quickly jump to a question that's come in through YouTube, and something we probably should have mentioned to begin with, but how does the Learn and Earn work? What is the Learn and Earn?
Certainly. So it's a set of questions with the multimedia demonstration that talks about the project from the concept, from the utility, from the the value proposition for all the stakeholders, the consumers, the brands, and then it has questions. So those who answer the questions correctly, and they're not very tricky questions. They very, like if you read the small presentation, you'll definitely be able to answer them. You get rewards. So basically, you get Shping coins for answering the question right. So in a way, it's motivates you to learn a bit more about the product, and you get rewards for that by answering the questions correctly.
And how does the Learn and Earn campaign, how does that drive demand?
So the demand is directly linked to the community. So the more people know about your project, the more people want to acquire your coins. That creates demand, and that's what exactly Learn and Earn does. It talks to new people who haven't heard about the project yet. It's incentivizing them to learn something about this project. And once they understand the project, and if they see potential in this project, they may be interested in becoming a token holder. So that's how the Learn and Earn addresses the demand, is bringing your project to a bigger community.
And just so we're clear, the Learn and Earn campaign will go outside of Australia.
That's definitely the plan, and that's what we've agreed to with Coinbase. It's going to be in stages. So for now, Australia only. As soon as we're ready to onboard another country, roll our services in this other country, we will leverage Learn and Earn as the method of marketing, because it gives us exposure to a very big local community who's already on Coinbase. And because of our tight integration with Coinbase, it makes it very easy for Coinbase users to join Shping app, because they don't even have to create an account. They can use their Coinbase account to log into the app. So that integration helps us to onboard more and more users.
Okay. Oh, while we're on that, I've got a specific questions from a community member that was asking, and I'm going to read it out because it's a very pertinent question. It says, "Hi Shping, I've just learned about Shping through the Coinbase app, which is terrific to hear it. I'm fascinated with it. I've been using it every day since. Love the utility. So thank you to that person. But I've noticed that some receipts I've uploaded automatically reward me for every item. But in some cases, receipts are sent to a needs attention folder, even though both receipt capture quality is good. Why does this happen?
Great question, and thanks for joining the Shping community as well as Shping app user community. So the way receipt recognition works is, so we built an engine that takes the receipt and it extracts all the data, and then we map every item on the receipt to a barcode. We call it GTIN, Global Trade Item Number. So therefore, we know that that particular person have purchased those products. We also know when the purchase took place, the price they paid for those products. So and it's all built into the analytics data we building and developing, which is then leveraged by the entire ecosystem. So we are still in the phase of mapping the product description of the receipt, because every retailer, they use their own abbreviation to call products. So for example, you could buy A2 milk and 3-liter bottle. So some will say A2 milk 3-liter bottle, the others will say A2M. Other retailers could have their own abbreviation. So what we need to do, we need to train our system and say that when you're seeing these characters, that means that particular product. And we are enabling our consumers to help us to create this mapping, and they actually earn more rewards for doing that. So if someone already done the mapping for the products, then it's automatically get processed. You as a consumer get rewards for uploading the receipt as well as for every item we recognized. But if any of the items we don't know yet what they are, we then move this receipt into the folder needs attention. And you as a consumer can go into this folder, see the items that we haven't recognized, and help us and train our system on what those items are by clicking on the item and scanning the barcode. It creates the map, and all the future transactions of the same name will automatically get processed. And we've done a huge progress since we launched that. I think we're now processing about 78 to 80% of the records on the receipt, where before it was less than 5% when we just launched it. So we are moving towards, obviously we're never going to get to 100%. It's going to be learning all the time, but we're moving towards the space where we're going to be processing most of the receipts automatically. So you as a consumer, you get your rewards, and our system gets updated with the very powerful and relevant data. So in the instance with addressing this particular question, so it's nothing wrong with the way the receipt being uploaded. If they've been moved to the needs attention folder, it means that the system recognized the receipt. It means it's a good quality, but it requires help to map those products. You don't have to map them. If you don't want to, you can just press, I think there is a cross. You could say, I don't want to map them for whatever reason. It means that we're not going to be able to process that particular product right now, but someone else will map it. And once it's been mapped, even your products will be processed.
Okay, but we're encouraging people, make sure you try to map as many as possible because you get extra rewards for it, right? So
certainly.
That's a great incentive to do it.
And it's a limited opportunity because, as I said, once someone else mapped that product, it means that, and someone earns the rewards, it's a one-off. So once the product is mapped, it's mapped there for life. So therefore, it's an opportunity for those who want to be the first one to find those products that requires mapping and earn these extra rewards. So it's a limited opportunity that is available to everyone.
Okay. All right. Well, let's move on to the Shping 2.0 launch. And we've got a couple of things about the statistics there. What can you share about the Shping 2.0 launch? And what have we seen from 1.0 to 2.0 in terms of the statistics that we've got from our users?
Certainly. So 2.0 it's a very big sort of new release for us because we have learned a lot on 1.0. So we've learned a lot of, we analyzed the user behavior. We saw all of the areas where users were lost and didn't know what to do, and often we would lose users from continue using the app only because they found it difficult. So we've done a lot of analysis on the data from the experience on the 1.0, and we've tried to implement a lot of those solutions or fixes in 2.0. And I'm glad to say that our retention rate, which is one of the key metrics for us, has increased more than double. I think probably about 60-65% increase on the retention rate, which is amazing. We didn't expect even to get to those figures. And the retention rate is why it's so important. It means that if we bring X number of users, and whether we've done paid marketing or whether we've got these users through exposure, it means that more users will stay and continue to use the app now than before. And that's very important metrics, and it's something that we as a company working towards, and that's going to be the key to our success, to continue bringing the retention up. Receipt mapping is a big part of the 2.0. Once again, it works amazingly. We see a big participation from our consumers. The efficiency that we now can map products, and how we've gone from less than 5% to 70+% recognition. It's a demonstration of the efficiency that receipt mapping have brought us.
Okay, and what about the Coinbase integration? Have we seen many users take up this Coinbase wallet and using Coinbase to get into the application as well?
When we introduced 2.0, it came with the integration with Coinbase, and that was one of the features. I suspect that our users at that particular time there was less users who came to us from the crypto world and more from the retail, and that's why at that time the appetite to use coins outside of the app and moving them to the exchange wasn't as high as we're seeing now with the users who's coming through the Coinbase platform. We're seeing a lot of cash outs going through the Coinbase now, only because recently we have onboarded a lot of consumers from the crypto community, those who understand what to do with your token. They understand that it's not only that you can cash them out through our app where you convert it to AUD, you can move them to your wallet in Coinbase. You can trade them through to other crypto, or you can cash them out from the Coinbase because they now support instant cash out. So we're seeing a lot of people using the Coinbase transfers, which is great, and we really encourage it. It's great for users because the transfer is free of charge. So even if you're transferring 5 coins, you can do it without incurring any fees. So definitely seeing take up.
Okay. And look, I want to combine a couple of questions into one here, because we've got some questions from the community about the roadmap and our expansion. And so will Shping roll out to the US, Europe, and somebody even asked specifically about Japan? What can you tell us about the roadmap, where we are, and the Shping expansion into other countries and regions?
Look, Shping is a global platform, and the plan is to be everywhere. And unfortunately, we can't be everywhere from day one. So our plan has always been, and we've mentioned that on a couple of AMAs, we are still finalizing our offering to make sure it's complete before we start making international steps. So there's still a number of things we want to roll out in Australia before we could say that we are ready for this next step. But it's not that far away. It's definitely on the agenda. It's something that we are working on in parallel. We don't want to make any announcement just yet because it's a bit premature, but we're definitely going to be rolling out our services internationally, and eventually we'll be everywhere, including Japan. So that's definitely coming.
Oh, I'm glad that user now knows we're coming to Japan. Look, that brings us to the end, but there's a couple of questions that have come through YouTube again. I just want to touch base on those, so we're answering all the community questions. So do we have a marketing team for the Learn and Earn? How will people know about this? I think we addressed this earlier in our AMA, but if you just want to reiterate what Coinbase are doing to get their Learn and Earn campaign out.
So Coinbase, I probably don't even know all of the activities that they're going to be undertaking, but what we do know that they're going to be sending an EDM to all of the Australian users. Within the Coinbase app, I think they're going to be a banner when you log in saying that Shping Learn and Earn is active. So they're going to treat us slightly separate to other Learn and Earn campaigns, only because we are Australian and it's targeting Australian community. So we're going to stand out from the other campaigns that they're running at the same time. We will, once there are any announcements in the public domain, we will obviously reshare them through our channels, and we will provide some exposure. And there may be some press releases going to the media as well, announcing that.
Terrific. Okay. And the final question, can I use this in the Philippines?
Not at this stage. So at this stage, the app is only limited to Australia. Even if you will be able to download it in Philippines, there won't be any functionality. You'll probably have a very bad experience, only because none of the functionality is there. So it's going to be almost useless. But once we are ready to launch in the Philippines, definitely you will be able to jump on board and use the app with the same way as it's used in Australia, and hopefully we'll have even more features by that time.
Perfect. Okay, well, thank you very much to the community. Thank you, Gennady, for joining me for another AMA. I know we've had 2 this month, so it's an extra special month for Shping. So thank you, everybody, and stay safe.
Shping!